Cancers, welcome to your monthly Sidereal Astrology forecast for June of 2016. I'm your host, Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. So Cancer, we got a lot going on this month. I'll go ahead and run through the most important aspects, sign changes, direction changes, and that should give you a very good general picture. But to get more specific, do subscribe if you're new to the channel because I go into the weeklies where I look at these weeks of the month much more specifically. So before we get started, let's look at where the planets are at the beginning of the month. We've got the Sun and Venus in Taurus, so in your 11th house. I think coming into the month, you're probably focused on either friends, groups, community things for some of you. For others, it might be your hopes, wishes, and dreams, your ideals in life. All right, so I think that's a great area for you guys to continue to focus your attention, put energy into. You could be enjoying connecting with groups or friends and things like that with Venus there. And this is going to be the area of the new moon on the 4th. So now new intentions are great around the 4th to kind of sit with the energy, see where you want to, what you want to cultivate for the next 6 months to a year regarding either the ideals in your life or the group-related matters, right? Your sense of community, spending time with friends, whatever it might be. Now, this new moon is going to be forming a Grand Cross, so there is this challenging energy about it, but this is the key, is that, real things in life, real solid things in life happen through challenge, or not that they have to be challenging as much as we have to be open to challenging ourselves and being in alignment with that. So from what I'm seeing with this new moon, it's good to challenge yourself here, whatever that might mean for you personally. It's involving the 4 different areas that are going to get activated with this, which is going to be your financial material area. It's good, maybe some action needs to be taken with that, with intimacy, deeper connections in your life, and also with you expressing yourself. So finding the balance with all of this, working with those areas, again, for you to cultivate the things that you feel like are your hopes and wishes, or that you feel like might give you a stronger sense of community. Now, Mercury is going to be going into Taurus on the 7th, so at that point, from the 7th onward, you guys will probably start to think a little bit more about that. Up until that point, for the first week, you guys are probably still thinking quite a bit about your career, and it's still a good first week to do that. Maybe rehash, redo a lot of stuff you learned last month with Mercury retrograde there, maybe finishing that up or putting that stuff in motion. But with the 7th onward, definitely more of the thinking in terms of the maybe community, friends, groups, ideals, working on the ideals, etc. Now on the 9th, we've got the North Node trending up to Pluto, which is actually a very powerful transit. In fact, Pluto is forming some powerful energies, some aspects this month. Later, we'll be trending up to Jupiter. So there's this transformation, there's this shift to your life path here, I think specifically around the 9th. And so your life path, this whole new direction for you guys since the beginning of the year, has been relating to either the financial stuff, the material things for some of you, having more security in your life, material security, having a greater sense of self-worth, confidence in that sense, and being more self-reliant. This is now the time for you to do that because the North Node's saying that it's been a while since this area has been activated. In fact, 18 years, which is a very long time. So it's time to put energy into that, to cultivate this again for you. And I think you can find that around the 9th in particular can be very deep, can be very powerful. Maybe something's changing or shifting with your perspective on that, which again could help you make those changes. Now on the 12th, we've got Mars retrograde trending up to Chiron. So the thing about Mars this month is he's retrograde still this month all the way up until the very end. So this has been this reflection, and the reflection has been with your home and family. There's been a lot of motivation here these past couple months, but with his retrograde these past couple months has been learning more about home, or where you want to rehash some things relating to home or your family or your health. And so this can be very healing around the 12th. I think anything relating to that, about you taking action, you being independent, you moving that energy forward in a way that you're learning about it, but moving that energy forward nonetheless, I think can be very healing, tranquil, and rejuvenating around specifically your roots in life around the 12th. Now on the 14th, Neptune is going to be retrograde for about the next 6 months. This happens every year. So it's a good time to now be reflecting on where Neptune is. So for you guys, it's in your 8th house. So Neptune has been showing you guys over many years the importance of having more faith and trust when it comes to the beginnings and endings of life. And when it comes to intimacy and vulnerability, to really let go, have faith and trust. So that's the surrendering element of Neptune. For the next 6 months, reflecting on that and maybe even rethinking about some things you guys might be involved with regarding intimacy or even shared resources or anything like that. Now, the 17th and 18th regarding that is going to have Saturn squaring up to that Neptune. So this is nothing new. This has been going on since November of last year. You can think back to November to see if there's anything relating to this. Specifically, though, about having faith and trust along with what you've been building with your self-expression. You've had Saturn in your 5th house for about a year off and on with his retrogrades, where you've been really building, the things that are important to you in life in terms of your expression, or where you can actually take maybe some of your hobbies and interests and get serious with them in some sense, or just start to create things, or just to take a much more disciplined approach to the things you enjoy and to expressing yourself. So if you've been doing that, great. That's Saturn. I think it's still awesome to be taking those things seriously. But now with a square from Neptune, letting go, having faith and trust, and knowing that everything that you're either creating or expressing is happening in a divine timing, and it's a square. So again, we want to be open to that. It may not be easy, but the more open we are to it, there's a tremendous amount of peace that can actually arise when it comes to these matters in your life. Now, 17th and 18th has Venus going into Gemini, followed by the Sun in Gemini on the 20th. So there's definitely this shift now, and by mid to late going into next month in July, you're going to have a lot of energy in your 12th house. So from this 17th, 18th, I think you can be enjoying perhaps a bit more of that tranquil energy, getting some R&R, some relaxation, connecting in your relationships, perhaps in a bit more accepting or unconditional manner, which is great for Venus. And then from the 20th, once the Sun goes in there, you guys could actually be gaining a lot of energy and a lot of prana by getting that alone time, getting that rest and that meditative time out, maybe learning more about yourself spiritually and all of this. Because after this, later next month, the second half of next month, you're going to have this energy going into your 1st. And so that's going to be a time of new beginnings for you. So it's always a good time to rest up. It's an ending of a 12-year cycle. For you, whether you're watching this for your sun, moon, or ascendant, it's related to that. So it's a good time to work on your surrender, work on your peace in life, so that you can see what really matters. I mean, that's what the 12th house is, to see, what really matters in life, your connection to God, your connection to your spiritual self, if you want to call it that, and really just see that, of course, life is so much more than whatever we're doing on the physical level. So that's the 20th, and then also on the 20th, Jupiter is going to be conjoining up to the North Node at this time, which has been going on since January. So this is insight specifically with these things that I think you are cultivating with the financial material stuff, or with your sense of self-worth or whatever. So this could be some opportunities, could be some possibilities. You could be seeing some new things in this area. It's great. Of course, the details do depend on your personal charts, but in either case, all of you should be gaining some optimism, or you're just seeing what's possible regarding where you can have a greater sense of material security, as well as a greater sense of self-reliance along the life journey. Because again, this is a good area for you to be focusing on this year. Now, on the 20th as well, 20th is a big time. We have a full moon, and that full moon is going to be right on the cusp between your 6th and your 5th house. So this is now a culmination of your self-expression, which is great because you've had Saturn there. So you guys are now seeing, there could be an illumination, there could be a high point with your self-expression, a status check. Maybe there's some old things relating to either your expression or creativity that do need to be let go of, so you can continue to cultivate what is working in that area. And also, again, relating to your 6th house of work. So you guys could be coming to a culmination of work, maybe your routine, your health, your diet, your regiments. And so that awareness, again, could be a status check for you to see what's working, what can be changed, and where you can continue to cultivate that for the next 6 months. On the 26th, Jupiter trines up to Pluto. So here's where we get into, again, that Plutonic energy of transformation, again, specifically relating to your sense of self-worth. I think there's a lot of change happening here. You're seeing what's possible. There might be opportunities on the financial material stuff, whatever it is. Around the 26th, it's a great time to make big changes because you're willing to, and you have the support to, and you're also willing to see deep patterns and maybe things that need to be let go in order to do that. So that's what Pluto does. It's beginnings and endings transformation. So seeing how you can transform your sense of self-reliance and your material security around the 26th. 27th has Chiron going retrograde, so there's a reflection going on, and this is going to be specifically with your life path, which is where Chiron has recently gone into. So you guys are healing your connection with life, your connection with what's possible in life. There might be some wounds around that, so doing the healing work has already been the case, but now reflecting on that, thinking about that for about the next 5 months. On the 29th, Mars goes direct. So here's where, like I was saying, there's this reflection going on with that Mars energy, but now there's a lot of this forward-moving energy, and this is going to be with your home, your family, and your health, where I think a lot of the stuff you learned about that stuff this month starts to move forward for you, and you can really start to take more of that independent action in that area, because this is a very important house for you guys, being Cancers. All right, so I hope you guys have an awesome month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.